Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hearth of Coal. It's been a while. So I went to make some muffins because I'm up before work and I feel like baking something. It's cold and my inner child needs to be fed. So I decided to make chocolate zucchini muffins. Okay? Awesome. Pulled out the zucchini last night. Gonna make them this morning. Open the pantry to realize I never put flour on my shopping list. So, embarrassingly, I'm out of flour. Well, I have a solution. My old trusty dusty Grainmaker, and I love this thing, and I've had her in the shelf. Sorry. I've had her on the cupboard. On the cupboard? What the fuck is wrong with me right now? Okay. I've had her in the cupboard for a couple of months now. Just didn't really want to mess with it. But I am at a point where I don't want to refresh our grocery budget just yet, so I'm going to grind up some flour. Not a huge deal, just made me think that I've had a few comments about what it actually looks like while it's grinding. So that's what we're going to do today. Because I got lazy and did not grind any of my flour. So now I'm going to. You might notice the camera shake a little bit. The Grainmaker is attached to the table where my tripod is sitting, so it'll wobble. Sorry, it is what it is. If you hadn't seen oh my gosh. If you hadn't seen my Grainmaker videos way before, you can scroll through my channel listings and see those videos. They were from... How long ago was that now? Let me know. I think it was about 3 years ago? 4 years ago? Yeah, it was close to 4 years ago when I made that video. So, just a quick rundown. This is the Grainmaker Model 99. It is a manual crank version because if the power goes out, I don't want to have to depend on something taking up space that could have otherwise been useful. So, here we are. Whew, okay, sorry. Turned out that it was just a little bit stuck and I was worried that someone had cross-threaded it when they put it back together. So, I got a little scared. It's okay. She's fine. So, this knob, that is our coarseness adjustment for the grinding plates. And I'll show you why it got stuck. Because I was a bad maintenance person and I did not oil that before I put it away. So she's got a little surface rust, but it'll be okay. Note to self. Throw a little bit of oil on it if you're going to put it in storage. The grinding plates are an alloy grinding plate. They're machined, so you want to make sure they're nice and clean. Those I actually cleaned before I put them away. And then we've got our auger, so that'll push the beans forward. And we just want to line this up. All of this for some zucchini muffins, guys. Okay. Get him back on there. Kind of have to hold it on the bottom while you start your threads, otherwise it will slip and fall out of position. Oh, that's squeaking. I don't like that. Okay. Once it starts to click, then you can go ahead and just tighten it down to whatever coarseness you want. I'm going to go all the way. I made a super specialized shield. Okay, this is very high quality cardboard. And I just cut it into a shape that worked. So, it's useful. It goes behind our grinding plates, around the throat of the auger. And that will keep the little flour dust particles from going all over the table instead of into my container where I want them. This is the other shield. It just slides on with these little guys right there onto the back of your grinding plates. Clicks down into place. And then my fancy shoebox for catching the flour. I imagine it will take me about 3 passes to get pretty fine flour, which is what I want. Why did I put that in backwards? This plate is just to keep it from bridging. I don't find that it helps, but that's just me. And the next thing is our wheat berries right there. These are almost a year old now. I get mine from a local farmer, and he doesn't use any pesticides or herbicides or any of that junk. So I really appreciate it. Is sometimes you'll have to pick through and get the chaff out. I don't know if you can see that. It's it's just the hull of the wheat berry. Sometimes you'll get other seeds in there, small stones. So it's a good idea to just look at it. I had already given it a once over before, but apparently it was not a very good once over. So I'm finding some things. So we'll just slowly pour this in. This is about 2 cups. So I expect I should get about 3 to 4 cups of flour. I only need 1 cup of flour for my zucchini bread, okay? But this is why I bought this device. For situations where I cannot or do not want to go to the store. Get out of there. Ooh, that's a rock. Rocks don't like your grinding plates. I found one last year. Well, I should say my grinder found one last year. And it made an unholy racket, stopped working. It really let me know that there was a problem. Which is yet another reason why a motorized unit may not be a good solution for you. You know, and it might be. Who knows? But I like the manual. You have a little bit more control over what happens and how fast it happens. So this is going to get loud. Let's move the camera off the table. Otherwise, it's going to be unbearable. All right, let's try that. So we're going to start grinding. It's going to be loud. I'll speed it up as we need to. And I'll show you what it looks like after each pass. So this is pass number 1. Right now my grinding plate is closed all the way till it stops. I back it off about 5 clicks for the first pass because it is harder to break up. There's 5, and we'll do a couple of grinds and just see. Right now the auger's got to get full. Yeah, there we go. It's a little harder now. That's about as loud as it gets. I will say when I do corn, I haven't done beans yet, that'll be another one. But when I do corn, it is significantly louder. The other thing that helps is this wheat is older, so it's really dried out. The lower moisture content makes it break apart a little bit easier. At least, I think that's why it would break apart easier. When I was doing this, I gotta take a break, my arm's tired. When I was doing this more frequently, 2 or 3 times a week, I'd be done by now. But I have gotten lazy, and I have not been working out, and the Grainmaker is letting me know about it. We're almost through the first pass. And you can hear it change in tone when you're out of wheat berries. Now it just sounds like you're grinding metal together, which is exactly what you're doing. So I'll show you. From that 2 cups, peekaboo. From that 2 cups, this is what we've got. It's a pretty coarse flour. I don't know if you can really... It's pretty coarse. You could probably bake with it as it is. But if you did, whatever you made would be pretty dense. Very crumbly. I don't know if you could see that brown. So that brown is the hull of the wheat berry. And I like to leave it in there because who doesn't need more fiber? But if you wanted something to be like really white, or you know, if you're making something for decoration, a very pretty dessert or a gravy that you don't want to have any hulls in, any of that chaff, then you would just sift this out like you would any other flour. If you're making a dessert or a pastry, you would just sift that out. So now this is the second pass. I'm going to tighten, I'm going to tighten this up just about as far as she'll go. 1 click off of stop. And this is where the bridging really happens, because the flour pushes together and it just gets solid towards the bottom. So every once in a while, let's poke it. Help that flour to go down into the auger chamber. It's much nicer on the ears, but it is actually a little bit more physically demanding. So we're going to loosen that up one. It might be a little too tight for me today. Oh, you know, they do make motor kits for this. They have it on sale on their website. On sale? For sale. On their website. I thought about getting one, and it's been a number of years. You can make your own too if you get the ratio just right, the gearing. Maybe one day. I'm still young enough and strong enough, God willing. So that's what it looks like when it bridges. You can see the auger is turning way down in there. But it's only pulling flour from the very bottom. So that's the bridging I was talking about. And you can either smack the front of the hopper, or you can get yourself a stick and poke it, and as long as you're careful, you can just work around it. And while we're here, so the first pass was pretty coarse. This is much finer. And you can see that the bran, the hull, it's almost blended in to a degree that it would be difficult to sift out. You can see it a little bit over here. That is the process. So we are making fine flour, semi-fine flour. If I wanted cake flour or something really delicate, I would put it through again. just to break everything up a little more. But I'm not going to do that today because I have to get ready for work. Thanks for swinging by the hearth. And the next video on the Grainmaker that I plan to make is going to be grinding corn and beans. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope to be around a lot more. I plan to anyway. We'll see how it goes. Take care.